Amen. What an Dude.
How did that make you feel, boy?
Hey, hey, man, y'all think we playing? Hey, if that didn't tell y'all we ain't, man, I don't know what will, man. Hey, shout out to our sponsors, Barbeview TV, producing this whole episode, man. That was dope, bro. Hands down, dope. Different.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? I'm your boy, Tamel Cuts, man. Proud
Hey,
owner of Uppercuts Barbershop. I forgot about that part. Yeah. I'm so
hey,
excited.
hey, y'all. He's just excited, man. For any of y'all that was tuned in last week, you saw that I was by myself, and my boy gets to come here and feel this, man. I had the same reaction. I was in here like, "What?" Hey, so I am Lonnie Horn, proud owner of World Class Faders Barbershop, and together, tell them something, T. Together,
Hey, together, you guys, this is the United Barbers Club, and you are watching the United Barbers Club for the Culture live cast here,
yes, yes, yes.
produced and sponsored by Barberview TV. Guys, we're very excited, man. Things are looking different, things are feeling different, but hopefully it brings you guys a whole nother level of entertainment. So we would like to hear your feedback, stuff you like, stuff you don't like, because we're just trying to make this thing better for your experience. What up?
Hey,
What's up? What's
man,
happening?
I'm trying to look and see who in this live right now. I'm trying to see who's in there. Who we got in there?
I
Bay
see Rondell in there. I see
Bay
the bar
Beast.
hair link. Oh, Cuts by Cruz.
The clubhouse is open. We got
The
Bay Beast in
clubhouse
the
is open.
building.
Hey,
Hey, I see our
let's
girl. I see our girl. I see our S&P specialist.
let's go.
Let's go, man. Silver Cuts, happy Tuesday to y'all. Happy Tuesday to y'all. Hey, throw them comments in the throw them opinions in them comments. Throw them flames up, them barber poles if y'all like this new format we working on. We got so much more coming. So much more coming. This is fun, T.
Yes, 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 it is, man.
Hey man, so last week we had Tati, Joanna, we had their partner on, and we were talking about the Bay Area Student Barber Expo. And man, I gotta say, man, I was so impressed with these ladies. I was so impressed with their whole family, man. Their whole family was absolutely dope. So thank y'all so much for tapping in and supporting them. And we know that that was a success out there last weekend. Any of y'all were out there at the Bay Area Student Barber Expo? Please let us know. Cuz by Gil, what up, though? Yes, yes, yes. Baby says she like this. We appreciate that. Cuz by Cruz.
Hey.
Philly in the building. Cuts by Cruz. Um, and but it's a lot of events going on, y'all. You know, if y'all got events you're looking forward to, we had the Orlando premiere just went down. Man, let us know in the comments events that you're looking forward to, and we're gonna tell you the event we're looking forward to this weekend.
This
Uh,
weekend we will
Simply
be,
Divine.
yes, and where we at though? Because I keep messing them
I
names.
got it. I got it all
I know
for
you
you.
do.
Monrovia, California, at the
Monrovia.
DoubleTree.
You ever met a guy from Monrovia?
You ever met him from Monrovia?
I ain't. I can't wait to meet a lot of people out there in Monrovia. Shout out to Simply Divine. Man, this is gonna be epic. We are honored to be a part of this show. We get to come out and do an educational piece. And we get to bring our podcast out there with Barberview TV, who's going to be doing the video audio for the show. We're just excited, man, to elevate the things that we do and be more out there for we can have an impact on our industry. So thank you
Yes.
guys for allowing us that great opportunity. And hey, what is it? Our production room. Why don't you go and play a little bit of that video for them so they can see what's going to be going on in
Yes, yes. In
Monrovia.
Monrovia.
And
3, 2, 1, let's go!
That That's what's going down, man. Woo!
Bravo,
Shout
bravo,
out to Barber View,
bravo,
babe. Shout out to
bravo.
Barber View. Hey, he said, hey, baby said I got a cousin in Monrovia.
Okay.
She lying. She ain't got no cousin in Monrovia.
You know, black
Hey.
people got cousins. Everybody that's black, they cousin. You know how it is.
Hey, I'm looking forward to it though, y'all. We are going to be educating, and when we say educating, we're going to be having our workshop, which is called Five Habits of a Successful Hair Professional. I'm talking about some gems. It's super interactive. It's just going to be an explosive time to elevate your mind, get your mindset. I always tell people when we do our presentations, if you read any self-help books, the first chapter is always about mindset. And so I consider us the first chapter to many of the other educators that we know that books. So we're getting your mindset for even more education. So get on Eventbrite, check out that Simply Divine Academy. Beauty and Barber Expo is this weekend, June 9th, in Monrovia, California, at the Doubletree Hotel. And make sure to sign up and get involved with our classes going down that morning. And I'm telling you, you won't want to miss it. You won't want to miss it. Speaking of classes, we were at Mix Beauty Institute today. Shout out to Mix,
Bow, bow, bow,
man. Anybody?
bow.
Hey, if anybody in there is from Mix Beauty Institute, please put mixed in the comments so we can know that y'all was here. Um, we had a good time out there, man. What you think about that experience today, man?
Oh man, we did a whole different workshop, one that we'd never done before, and mix was our test subject, and they seemed to have got a lot out of it, and it was great for us to go a different route and test out new things that we can bring value to our industry. I thought it was great, and that class was packed.
It was
Packed.
it was deep up in there. It was deep up in there, man. Shout out to Mix. They showed us so much love, man. They treat us so good when we go in there, man. These relationships we build with these schools, they're like second to none, man. We come back and we like, man, why we didn't come back sooner? Because they treat us so good when we come in the door. So shout out to Mix. And there's one more event coming up, y'all.
Yes, and that we're talking about classes. How about the top of the class student barber battle put on by yours truly,
Ooh.
United Barbers Club? It's another rendition of our Cap City Showcase stuff that we put on. Go to Cap City Showcase, Cap Shitty, CapCityShowcase.com and get your tickets today. If you are not a member of the United Barbers Club, go sign up for free at UnitedBarbersClub.com. Become a member. You would get a discount code in your email. So check your emails if you guys are a member. Check your email. There's a discount code you guys already have. Use that discount code to save you some money so you guys can be in the building June 23rd at Federico's Barber and Beauty Institute.
Hey, and while y'all playing, I don't know if y'all can see that down there, man. We got a scissor class by Anna Cuts. Anna is a beast with the scissors.
Beast.
I am going to be sitting in Anna's class. I'm going to be sitting in Anna's class. Like I always tell y'all, it's our event. But when I'm in that class, don't come talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me after the class because I'm leaving with some game. And Anna is
Yes,
killing it
sir.
right now. She is killing it. The girl is over $150, no, $100 a cut, and she stays booked. And her skills tell the whole story. So that's June 23rd, y'all. It's going down. CapCityShowcase.com. Get your tickets today. It's super cheap, but they won't last. They won't last. We'll be at Federico's Beauty Institute, and we have filled that building out multiple times, and it's going to be filled out this time, damn it. So get your damn
Yes.
ticket. Oh, and by the way, y'all that think y'all could cut some 360 waves, the 360 wave brush by 360 Jeezy himself will be the prize for the three placing winners of the wave and taper contest. So it's gonna be
Yes.
lit, y'all. It's gonna be lit. I'm for real.
Yes, indeedy. Lemon squeezy. All right. So we're gonna get on to what brought you guys all here tonight, and it is our
We got
guest.
a special guest today.
We
I
have a
mean, we be
special.
having special guests, but it's a special guest, man. He doing something different that we don't get a lot of authors on this platform, and I think this is gonna be so cool to have an author on this platform, man. Hey, what you know about this guy, T? What you know about this man?
Well, I know the guy's not only an author, a two-time author, by the way, and two-time number one bestsellers. Yes, 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 as well as a barbershop owner and a school owner. Mm,
Yes,
mm.
yes. Oh, and Sal, we got you. Don't trip. We got you. I promise you, I got you. But don't miss this guest, man. Hang out for a little bit. You really want to check this guy out. You're talking about game. It's no joke, man. No joke. We're bringing to the platform the one and only Donnie Joseph, author of Six Figure Habits.
The
No,
first book
habits.
is
Habits
yeah,
of a Six Figure Barber.
yeah. That was the first book. The one that I just dropped is The Ultimate Barber.
Yes, yes.
Well, it's good to have you in the building, man. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, dude. I feel guilty joining the show because I was enjoying watching it so much, man. You
Hey,
guys
it's
got
dope, ain't it?
man. I had the popcorn going in the back, man. So I
Hey,
was
that's what I'm talking about.
yeah, man. You guys got the vibe right, man. I'm bummed we couldn't do this in CT Barber Expo like we had tried, but all things work out as they should, and so I'm glad I'm here, and I appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation with you guys, man. I'm excited to drop some gems tonight with you guys.
Love that energy, man. And I want to put say something to your point right there. Hopefully you see this the way we see it. We don't look at this as a one-time interview. We look at this as that opportunity to start building a relationship, building rapport with one another, learning more about each other. And we'll see you at a CT. We'll see you at a Vegas. We'll see you at a, a premiere. And we'll have you back on here. So this is the beginning of many, man, if you could see it the way we see it.
Oh, bro, you're speaking my language, man. And I think, it's just the barber in us, right? Where that's what we do. We build rapport and we build relationships. And so this platform is no different, man. And I think that's why every time we've ran into each other, it's always been nothing but love. So
Amen.
Says the
Amen.
shirt. Says the
It
shirt.
says the
Says the
shirt.
hat. Says the hat. So Donnie, man, it's an honor to have you. We've been poking around, trolling you, and just trying to learn more about you. Just hear some of this journey from your own mouth. Now you have two books. One of them is a bestseller now, right?
correct. Yeah. So I actually have three books.
Ooh.
The third book, I just kind of silently released, and I wrote that while I was waiting for the last book, The Ultimate Barber, to get finished up. I write every day, man. So for me to put out books is kind of like my thing. But yeah, so my two books are bestsellers, and the other one, The Five Steps to Financial Order, which is more of a financial book for barbers. That one is not a bestseller. However, when we were pushing this book, um, this one started creeping up and it hit like number three. I was hoping it was gonna go, but I think number three is as high as it got. So it was all good.
Congratulations, man. I want to
Yeah.
back you up from our clubhouse's standpoint. Somebody that may not know who Donnie Joseph is, what qualifies you to write these books and put this information out there? What is it about you and your
Yeah, who
journey
are you,
that does that?
man?
That
Yeah, man.
What
there we go.
nerve do you
Sometimes I
have?
have to ask myself the same thing because I don't feel like I'm any different than any other barber that's cutting behind the chair. I just feel like it's an obligation of mine to share things that I've learned over the course of my 20-year career, and I wish I could stand here and act like it's been just this roses and sunshine from day one. But the reality is I had to overcome a lot of personal setbacks in my career, bad ego, mismanaging my finances, immaturity, you name it, man. And so as I went through that journey, I feel like it's my obligation to share that with other barbers because I think there's two kinds of barbers. There's the ones that have sort of figured this out, and there's the ones that aren't ready for that yet. And my hope is that by writing the books or by sharing the content, is that we're touching those people with our torch, and kind of lighten their flame, if that makes sense.
No, it does make sense. So in essence, you're being transparent. You're really saying, hey, this barbering thing has done so much for me, but I kind of jacked it up in the beginning. Let me tell you a little bit so maybe you can use some of those experiences to advance a little faster than I did.
100%, man. And like in my new book, The Ultimate Barber, I start off the first chapter with talking about your past does not determine your future. And the reason I started with that chapter is because I was really allowing, my upbringing to hold me back. My dad was in and out of prison. He was a heroin addict.
Mm,
And that really like kept me down for a long time. And I don't know if it's my own personal philosophy, but I feel like there's a lot of barbers in our industry that also don't have strong dads or strong male role models. And I think that's what kind of drew me to the barbershop because it was like a male heavy environment, and it's kind of where I grew up in the barbershop. But I reached a point, man, where I realized nobody was coming to save me. You know what I
mm,
mean? And I think that that's something that happens with a lot of us is that guys will either go through that where they realize no one's coming to save them and they step up and they man up, or they remain, or they turn into an adult and they remain very immature. You know what I
mm.
mean? And as I've looked at, and again, I look at all these barbers that are winning or all these barbers that have a similar outlook that we do, and I think it comes down to a defining moment where we decided to turn into these things and not make excuses anymore. You know what I mean?
Amen.
I
Hey,
love
one
it.
thing that I'm trolling you and
Yeah.
catching a lot of your little gems that you be putting out in little clips and stuff.
Yep.
Relationships is the thing. It's not about the money and getting that clientele to come in and pay you for the service. It's about building a relationship with that client. How important is it for barbers to grasp on that and not look at clients as money when they touch the door to come in?
You know what, dude? It's I touch on that because I was that guy.
Mm,
Like I knew that I was good at cutting hair and I knew I could hop behind the chair. I grew up in a barbershop that was like a fast, busy, heavy walk-in barbershop, tons of reps. And so I could walk in there and make a ton of money by just thinking I was Larry Bird showing up, drop a couple three-pointers and step out. And I
yeah.
was, and I was but I wasn't focusing on the other aspect of it, which is I was missing out on a lot of the great relationships from the people that were sitting in my chair. And
Mm,
again, I think some of that comes back to maturity. You know what I mean?
yes.
I think it really does. Is when you start realizing it's like, dude, I was just on the Marvin Will's Gem Talk, and Will touched on something similar where he was like talking about the relationships and man, it's in everything. It's in all. I got multiple businesses, and it all comes back to the relationships. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I'm in mastermind groups, and I'm talking. I'm in groups with guys that are making millions of dollars. They don't care how much you make or don't make. It's about building genuine relationships, and that's why I always tell people, look, man, I'm not in the barber industry. I'm in the relationship industry,
Yes.
and
Man, boy, that's big.
you
Yes,
know, and
yes,
when you see it through that lens, and you just like everything starts opening up for you. The reason I'm in the position that I'm in, truth be told, with owning a barber college, is because three of my clients believed in me and wanted to help me get to that next level and invested in me. And that was it was all to do with the relationships that we built. It was all to do with the trust that we built. And there's just no way around it, man. That's what true success is all stems around relationships.
You're
and
absolutely right. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Go
No,
ahead,
no,
Lonnie.
go ahead. I'm agreeing
Uh,
with him too.
yeah, I was gonna say, a lot of us we get caught up on the instant. Everything is instant. Give me the money, get out of here. Next person. Not
Yes.
our power is in our database of
Yep.
all the clients that we have. I mean, I have. You need a mechanic. You need a painter. You need a plumber. You need this and that. When I opened up my shop, I had very little money and very little business mind. I had clients that came in and built out my whole shop for basically free because of my relationship with them. I didn't ask them to because I'm such a giver. They wanted to give back to me. I think that's just more important to give more in value that you receive in payment. And that's a book that everybody should read. It's called The Go Giver. Go read that book. It's an awesome book.
He who does more than what he's paid for will eventually be paid for more than what he does.
Woo,
That's
go above and beyond. Above and
you know.
beyond.
And like guys, the universe works that way. I believe in God, I believe in the universe. But like, where in the universe can you just go and reap the rewards or pick the fruit off the tree without tilling the land and without taking care of the land? It
Come
just
on.
doesn't exist
Come
No.
anywhere.
on.
And so why would our industry be any different? Why should we expect to make money first without actually giving value, right? And one of the posts that I made recently, I said, look, if you want to make more money as a barber, like some people think you got to work harder or you got to become a better barber, and that's not it. You got to work harder at becoming a better person, and when you become a
Hmm.
better person, you become more valuable, and when you're more valuable, you have more value to the marketplace, which guess what that means? You make more money.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
That's just a byproduct.
Yes.
You pour it into it. You get what you pour out. I mean, you get what you pour in.
Yeah,
Shout out to Rondell Dean. He said that's my guy. We graduated from Barber College together.
bro. Yeah, Ron.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That's our
Yeah,
guy. That's
That's
our
our
guy.
guy.
I would have
no,
never
That's our
yeah.
guessed.
guy.
You know what's crazy? What's crazy? If you ever talk to Rondell about the barber college we went to, I mean, dude, we were just in there fending for ourselves, man. Like we not a not. I mean, our main instructor, Mama D, she was a saint.
Oh, you was out here in Sac?
Yeah, bro, I'm from the Bay Area,
Hey,
man. I went
I
to
did
school in
not know
Sac.
that.
Mama D, Leland, Mama D, my
Yeah, Mama D
peoples,
and Lee.
man.
Yeah, I went. Yeah, I went to Moeller
Moeller.
Barber College on El Camino.
El Camino.
Did you? Is that where you
Whoa.
guys went?
I
Well,
went to the
that's
one
where
on
he
J
went.
Street,
On
and then
before or after?
I went to the one on J Street before El Camino, and then I came back and went to El Camino to finish up.
And then
Yeah,
I
man.
did my apprenticeship. My apprenticeship guy, he used that Moeller building on Mondays. Michael
Yep,
Burke.
Michael Burt. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
man.
and then everybody I work with, they all like got Mama D stories, and
Oh yeah,
that's
yeah. Mama D,
crazy,
man.
man.
Yeah, Mama D.
So
They
you
would call me
commuted.
on. What's that?
So you commuted.
Yeah, so I lived in Vallejo, California at the time. I grew up in Vallejo, between Napa and Vallejo. But at the time, I was living in Vallejo, and I commuted to Barber College, like traffic, Highway 80 traffic, no air conditioner. Um, bro, I sucked it up. I made it work. Yeah, went out there. I was there, graduated in like '01 or '02, something like that. But I
Wow.
don't even know how I got. Oh, Rondell. Dude, I ran into him a couple years ago, and it was so cool to see, because he at the time I was at a NACA's event. We were trying to get our schools accredited, and he had a barber college, and we were like bumped to each other in the bathroom, and we were like, "Yo, what's up?" So, it was cool to see him how far he's come, man.
Have you been out to his school in Stockton?
I have not. No, I have not. But he actually helped me a lot, man. Talk about giving. When I was opening my school, I opened my school March 10th of 2020, right when COVID hit.
Oh
COVID.
man.
And so that was during all the shutdowns. And man, I would be calling Rondell like, "Yo, man, how do I do this? And I need these sheets for this," because we stayed open for the most part, where my school's at. And he was super helpful, man.
Yeah, that's a
Good
beautiful
brother.
spirit right there, man. He
Good
always
brother.
got our back. He shows us so much love. Matter of fact, we'll more than likely be at his school this month. That school is growing like exponentially, man. It's just constantly growing.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
back to your books. So you got three books. In each of these titles, what did you want to accomplish? Like, what did you want people to get from each of those books?
So the first book, The Habits of a Six-Figure Barber, I feel like, when because I feel like I've reached a certain level of success when it comes to barbering, right? Like success means a lot of things. Like if to you being a good dad is that's what you aspire to be, you're a success, right? But I'm talking like in terms of being a barber, I feel like I've reached success, right? I've opened multiple shops, I've opened a school, I've done the thing, I made a ton of money, all of that stuff. So, and what I realized is it really had nothing to, it had a little bit to do with cutting hair, but it had more to do with the habits and the person that you were. And what you touched on earlier, and I wrote down, is your mindset. And so that was really what my first book was about, is laying down like the top 10 things. And like you said, 5 habits of a successful hair professional. I laid down 10 things that I felt like were habits that people needed to focus on. That book did really well. I still sell copies every single day on Amazon with zero push. That book sells worldwide. And but I felt like I needed to dive in deeper, and
Mm,
that's where I wrote the Ultimate Barber, which was really about diving in deeper and started talking about some of the limiting beliefs that hold us back. Because here's the thing, and guys can dice it up any way they want, but everything in life comes back to your mind, and you have zero control of anything else but how you choose to think. And once I realized that, I felt, again, I felt it was my obligation to share that with other people, and the ones that gravitate to the message. They're like, I just read a really nice review of somebody that saw the book on other barbers posting it on stories,
mm.
and they were like, man, I didn't even realize that I had some of these limiting beliefs, but they felt
Oh
so
wow.
inspired by reading the book. And so yeah, man, that's kind of what was behind those. um and the financial book was just more of a tactical, less gray area, just straight black and white. This is how you get your finances in order. This is what you need to do, step by step.
Which that last one, we need that because if you think about it, today we're making more money than we've ever made as barbers. We just don't know what the hell to do with it.
Yeah.
So that's cool. We need that kind of tool out there in the industry, man. That's beautiful.
The sad part of that, and I agree with you, the sad part is this book doesn't sell. I maybe sell one book every couple of days,
Got you.
and I totally understand it, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're young, and it's the same reason why when guys join the NFL, they have this financial class with the guys coming into the NFL. It's the same reason, because when you're young, you think tomorrow's always there, and you think, but like, we're seasoned enough that like tomorrow's here, man. And if we go back 20 years, we would do things a little bit different. And so it's just, that book, Five Steps to Financial Order, it's like, it's when guys are ready for it and they realize they're tired of playing the games, they're tired of not filing their taxes, they're tired of co-mixing their money in the same account, and they want to get it on order, then they'll start reading the books, you know.
I'm gonna jump into that one because I start diving into your 6 habits, but I want to dive into that one. I didn't know about that. And Tamel and I, we do presentations at schools, and we started doing presentations slash workshops when
Yep.
we noticed all of our peers were doing demos. Demos was the cool thing to go do at the schools. And
Yeah.
so we were showing up at the schools and they like, man, what kind of design you gonna do? And we like, no designs today, man. No designs. We like
Yeah.
we're about to talk. But we have this creative, fun way that we do this workshop with them, and we trick them out of their mindset, and then we literally put on the board the things that we've tricked them out of.
Yeah.
But sometimes I always feel like, man, I wish it was some kind of. I feel like we open the gateway for them to receive more info, but there's not a whole lot to throw at them. And we don't. We're
Yeah.
not authors. We don't have anything like that. So we're now starting to put some of our stuff in visual format for them, so they can take something away.
Yep.
But what you just said, man, it goes with some of the stuff that we're talking about on stage. So I want to dive into it ourselves. And then that way, when we do talk about finances and not putting your money under your mattress, being able to exist, not living off the grid like you're a dope dealer, you know what I'm saying? Like being able to qualify for a home loan. It would be the perfect time to have something like that book, man. So,
Yeah, man. And here's the truth of it. Like, we could talk about the nuts and bolts. That stuff's not sexy, right? But here's the truth. I've learned something, and I've trademarked a slogan, and I wear it on my wrist. Okay, it says "Money likes speed," right? So I wear this trademark thing. Money likes speed,
okay.
and what that means is it's like when you learn how money likes to move, and you can organize it and facilitate it in a way that it wants to move. Like you said, money doesn't want to be stashed under your mattress. It's
Right.
not it's not doing what it wants to do. It wants to move, and it wants to move fast, and it's going to move to the people that understand how to use it. Look,
Hmm.
when the government gives out a check, more than likely they're giving it to poor people. That's just the way that it goes. And where does it go? It trickles back up to the people that understand how to use it, because we go and we start buying stupid stuff with it instead of taking it and using it to invest or to organize it or to grow. Like,
Right.
I reached that point, just as a barber. And I was making tons of money as a barber, but I was spending it as fast as I can make it.
Man.
And then I reached a point where I was so frustrated with where I was at in my life. And then I started organizing, started paying off debt, started saving my money. And I was like, man, I could actually take the money that I'm making and use it to open up another business. And so I
Mm.
took the money from my barbershop money that I was making and I started funneling it into building out a barber college. And then
Okay.
once I got to the barber college, I started taking the money I was making there and I started opening up other shops. And
Mm.
so it's again, money like speed, man. That's why they say it's going to burn a hole in your pocket because it wants to get out of there. It doesn't want to sit there.
Damn, that's game.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask, because you have the books that back up the things that you're trying to help barbers realize.
Yep.
How much of that is instilled in your curriculum in your schools? Because we know how barber colleges function is to help you pass the state board. We
Correct.
have been hearing of some that has been having extracurricular curriculums to help the students to be able to understand the professionalism of barbering, the business part of barbering. How much of that do you have implemented in your school?
So what in terms of the curriculum, it's the curriculum's the curriculum. However, we talk with our students about that all day long, right? Like we do morning huddles and evening huddles, and what they get from me is they just get like it's like dropping gems all day long. The reality is there's a very small percentage of the students that actually take it and do something with it. And I don't know if it's because they have the access to me or because
Mm.
they're getting distracted with Instagram or YouTube or whatever that, or because I'm giving it to them for free in terms of just saying, hey, here's some information. But it's the reality is there's a very small percentage of people that will actually receive that message really well. And hey, look, like I told my students today, I said, look, when you graduate from this school, what you don't realize is you're going to graduate on the 30-yard line of a football field and
Mm,
you only got to go 30 more yards to score to be right. You're right there. But what
Mm.
happens when you leave this school is you start losing yardage and you keep losing more and more yardage. And but that's also a choice that you're making. And so
amen.
we all have that opportunity to make the choice. It's just up to the person. And again, I could say the same message to 20 students, maybe one or two runs with it, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you got a good point right there. We did a seminar called "Make It Make Sense," and we
Mm,
Yeah.
rented out a building. I'm a real estate broker as well, so we
Okay.
talk real estate. We tell all
credit,
of our mistakes, everything we've learned. We brought financial planners, tax professionals, loan
credit.
officers, yeah, everybody out there, and we thought this is just for the hair industry. This is going to get all those questions answered that we hear when we're at shows and everybody's drinking and smoking, and they're like, "Hey, bro, I want to ask you about a house." We're like, "Well, let's just do this for y'all," and we'll throw a barber battle. We throw two barber battles a year and two other events. They all sell out, packed like
Yeah.
crazy, line out the door. This event we probably had like 20 to 40 people there in a 200
Yeah.
seat theater, and
Hmm.
I think it wasn't it free. Was it free or $10? It was like
No, I think it's $10. $10. $10.
10 bucks. But
$10.
then we'll sell
Yeah.
a ticket for like $60 or $80, and then they're at the door lined up begging. And so again, man, we get it, but I still think it's good that you plant seeds. I want to
Amen.
send a shout out to Bazio. He said, "Yo, my boy Don at United Barbers Club. We appreciate it." I think that's a perfect name to pop up right now
Yeah.
because
I
Bazio,
was just thinking about him too when you guys were talking.
man, you can't help but to with what we're talking about because he's doing some pioneering things that we need in this industry right now. So we did something called a YouTube showcase a few years back, and we teamed with Bazio, Jeezy, and Get Bean.
Team.
And he
Yep.
came out, and this was the first time he did his. Now you see him talking about finances everywhere, but this was the first stage. We were so honored that he came and did it on our stage. Man, it was so hard to run that show because we was like, we wanted to be in the audience because this dude was giving up so much game, and it was like, this is what we always trying to convey on stage. But he had it in a PowerPoint format. It was visual. And then now here comes Donnie with the book. So I think what I'm getting to is I want to encourage all of the intellectuals in this business to keep on planting those seeds because, like you said, yeah, the other book hit. But it's kind of like the algorithm on YouTube and everything. It's like, yeah, those other videos might have got low plays, but once that one hits, it's still gonna trickle down, man, and
Uh,
that's gonna be needed.
100%, man. And when I was on a live with Bazio a couple weeks ago, one of the things that he said is like, you almost have to, like, other things have to take place for you to be ready to receive the message. And so, like, like these, like you're saying, we're planting these seeds. They might not be like, it may take 5 years, 3 year, whatever that is, for it to really get into, for to start getting into motion. And again, even like all of this stuff, and like kind of the conversation that Bazio and I were having in CT is like, it's just not sexy, this topic of like being disciplined and smart with your finances. But that being said, what I really love that Chris is doing is that he's showing barbers, and like, dude, he's crushing it with the six figure barber mentorship, and
Yes,
really like helping guys and showing them the way, and then sharing their stories. And so it is kind of, I think we're having a shift in our industry, which again, look, we've I think collectively we're probably all been in the industry over 20 years. If I had to bet money,
for sure, easily.
this what we weren't doing this kind of stuff back then. We were just in our shop behind the chair hammering away, and you were maybe chatting with maybe the barber down the street or
Yeah.
across whatever. We weren't having these kinds of conversations, so the now so the opportunities there is, what are they going to do with it?
Yeah.
You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
exactly. I think the
Yeah.
more problems we run into from the growth, it's going to bring people to look for this stuff. And the problem is when you look for it and it's not there. You know what I'm saying? So uh, you won't have any reason to be ignorant anymore once you look around and find out this kind of info is there. And
Yeah.
you mentioned something I want to ask my last question about is uh, the behind the chair thing. So man, there's like these terms, these sayings that now that Tamel and I are we're like 2 years into traveling, Donnie. Like as far as
Yeah.
barber business, this
Yeah.
is new for us, man. We just been
Yeah.
hustling, cutting, running shops. This dude runs a super successful shop in Sacramento. I run a super successful shop in Sacramento, and we come together to show the benefits of uniting, right? But my man, we're getting these dialogues going that we're not used to, and I'm starting to see. Wait, I'm hearing this every state we go to. They're like, get away from behind the chair, man. You know you're not gonna be able to do it behind the chair. But I noticed a portion of your book you were mentioning. It almost sounded like you were catering to the people behind the chair.
Yeah.
So, like, what's your thoughts? Do you think barbers can get to these levels of success from behind the chair, or do you think the chair thing needs to be temporary and they have to move on to something else that this industry offers?
Yeah, so I had this video I made, and it's done like hundred, like, I don't know, over 100,000 views online. And I
Mm.
said, hey, the first step to being successful as a barber is you got to get good at cutting hair. The second step, you got to get good at making money cutting hair. And the third step is you got to get good at making money by not cutting hair. And so a lot of that message resonates with a lot of people because they understand, like, hey,
Yeah.
there is more opportunity. And some guys are like, taking it the wrong way. Like, I'm saying, like, don't be a barber. I'm not saying that. Like, dude, to each his own. If, like I said earlier, if success to you is being a great dad, if success to you is working in a shop, building a shop, whatever it is to you, do that and do it well. But there's also other opportunities out there. And so it's all personal. Like, I know for me, I'm a visionary, man. Like I'm the guy that's like, ever since I was a kid, I was always trying, I was signing my baseball cards and trying to sell them for more money. I just always had
I like how Donnie
You was
said
a
a
scammer.
visionary. You're a visionary, but we know a hustler when we say a hustler.
Hey, Jose Canseco was a hot seller in the late '80s, early '90s, man. I had Jose Canseco signed, at that time. You know, I
Hey,
Donnie on the whole nothing. We got to learn about that side of Donnie in the future, man.
hey.
Oh man, I want to go back and find some of those cards, and some guys, some kids still grew up with that card and find
Oh
out
my
it's
God.
Donnie signed Jose Canseco on it. You know what I mean?
Hey.
But I always had that in me, and so I knew for me, like, I haven't worked behind the chair since probably like 2019. Do I miss it? Yeah, man. But you know what I miss? I miss the relationships. I miss the
Mm.
relationships. cutting hair, there's only so many ways. I mean, like once you understand it, do it, like it's like second nature. It's like tying a shoe and having a
Yeah.
conversation. But I do miss the shop environment, the culture. Um, but I feel like I'm at the stage of my journey where it's like I'm here to help these other guys, and that's why I have a school so that I
Mm,
can help other barbers go off. And like I tell them, I'm like, hey, look, if I do this the right way, when you're my age, you will be further along than I am.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm not trying to gatekeep. I want you guys to do more than what I'm doing.
I love that, man. I
Hey,
love that.
Donnie. Hey, I just want to tell you that we have a podcast that we do on site that we really want to dive super deep into your story and get that message out so we can blast that all over social media. But
Yep.
tonight, we got to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
And we're going to move on to something else for you.
Yes, sir.
Is there any last things you want to say that you thought was very important that you want people to hear, or you ready for what's next?
Man, I'm good. Let's go to what's next. I'm getting a little nervous, man.
It's all right. It's easy. It's easy peasy.
I've
All
been
right.
I've
So
been in some look. I've been in some high pressure situations. I've been at the state capitol. I've done all these high, and I'm telling you right now, man, the sweat is starting to trickle on my
why? Why?
forehead, man.
Why did we
I
give
don't know.
you that vibe, man?
I'm starting to feel. I'm starting to feel that hustler game coming out, man.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah. He's trying to
I
distract you.
think Donnie too smooth for that, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
we have a hot topic we want to talk about. So before we bring it up, we just want to play a quick little video.
Yep.
Haircuts don't matter. Here's the deal. If you got into the barber business because you thought the barber business was the business of barbering, you're in the wrong business.
Yes.
The barber business is the business of building and maintaining relationships with humans. There's a guy in their shop who's a wizard with a clipper, whose book is empty and he spends most of his time
Yep.
on the phone.
Yep.
And there's a guy in your shop who's just not that good, who's crazy busy.
Yep.
Not about the haircut.
No.
Good haircuts are easy to find. The average haircut in America today is above average. The flip side of good haircuts are easy to find, the other side of that is good customer service is hard to find. If you can do mediocre haircuts, average haircuts, and nail the customer experience, you're going to print money.
He would.
Here's the hot topic. We know as well as Ivan Zoot knows. He's told us this many times before. Haircuts do matter. They do. To what percentage out of 100% would you weigh in haircuts, professionalism, or customer service?
Ah, man, I think it's a small percentage, man. I would say I think obviously you want to do good work, okay? Like I'm not saying like be a bad barber, but I feel like if the haircut was a sandwich, the bread on the beginning of the haircut, like when the client walks in, the haircut happens, and then the experience they feel when they walk out is the most important.
Mm.
And in between, and again, that's where the environment's super important to a haircut. So when a client walks in the shop, they feel amazing. Hey, you greet them, you make them feel good. They're there for the experience. Yes, there's the guys that are super picky and they want all like there's a barber for you, man, that can do that. You know what I mean? I personally don't want that guy as a client. I want them to respect what I do, and I'm going to
Yes.
do it to the best of my ability. But bro, please do not bring out the ruler and the triple fold out mirror. And you know what I mean? The haircut's important, but it's not as important as a lot of barbers think that it is. And again, I used to feel the same way. And I'll give you guys a valuable this it hit me one time very early in my career, okay? I went and I worked at this shop and there wasn't a lot of like fades coming in, and I went to, you know how it is at Sacramento Barber College. It's pretty it's a I don't know what the word for it is, but it was all ball fades coming in there and tapers and designs, and
Yeah.
like that was all we were doing, right? And so I went to work at this shop and there was no fades coming in.
Damn.
And so every time I would get somebody that wanted a ball fade, I was like, this is my time to shine. And I would just be like trying to do this haircut, cutting real hard. And I remember one day the owner of the shop, I get this haircut, I do it, and the owner goes, man, that was a really good haircut. And I was like, man, thank you, you know. And he's like, yeah, he's like, actually, it was even better than my haircut. And I was like, man, thank you. And he goes, but I want to, he's like, the time it took you to do that haircut, I did 3 haircuts. And he goes, and
Mm.
like at the time we were charging $20 or whatever. And he's like, and you're giving me a percentage of what you're making. And I was like, okay. And
Mm,
I'm like, okay, I'm hearing. And he's like, yeah. So he's like, I get it. If you want to be the dopest barber and you want, that's what you want your career to be, there's a lane for you there. But if you want to treat this as a business and make money in this business, there's other things that you're going to want to focus on.
mm,
And like that was a huge wake up call for me. And again, where I stopped being so hyper focused on the haircut and I started looking at why is this guy successful? Well,
Hmm.
it was a way he talked to the clients. It was a way that he showed up to work on time. It was a way that he was smooth with his haircuts and like in an efficient manner. And you start learning those. And again, I think it goes back to maturity, you know.
hey, that's what
Amen.
I agree with you. We got Lonnie Fresh. Shout out to the world class fader. She said, "True, I've witnessed this many times." Um, and then Baby said it's 80-20 for her.
Yeah.
80-20
80,
It's
for her.
you
80
can be
20
the
for
best
me.
barber in 80-20.
80-20. The professionalism is 80. The haircut is 20% for
20.
me.
I agree with you. I was gonna say about 25%, but I think it's right, man. It's in that neighborhood, you know. It's there's so much more that's important. And again, like, look, if you're gonna be a barber, the expectation is that you're good because you're
Yes.
saying like I'm a specialist in cutting hair, right? Like that's what you're saying. Like this is what I'm doing for a living. So the expectation should be that it's good.
Yeah.
But what beyond giving a good haircut do you have to offer? Because if you have a horrible personality, your environment sucks, you don't know how to get moms to come back and bring their kids because your dude next to you is talking about, you know, how many chicks he slept with the weekend before, or you know what I mean? And again, look, I'm guilty of all of it. I'm guilty
Oh,
of
we were
all of it.
too. We were too.
Bro.
We were too.
I showed up late,
Daddy,
left
I like you,
early,
man. I like you, Daddy.
Me and
bro.
him.
Black coming into work with a black eye, busted lip. Like, dude, I'm guilty of all of it.
But you
You
learn.
know what I
You've
mean?
grown. You've learned. You've grown, and you. I like the way you teach. The way we teach. We teach through transparency, man.
Yeah.
So it's one thing when you've done it and you don't want to claim you done it and you talking down like from a pedestal. I don't get that from you. We don't get that from you. We get that. Oh, this you spitting it like we spit it. We're like, man, we done
Yeah.
all that dumb stuff. We done wasted time, wasted money, wasted resources, and then you have to go back and do it again. So I appreciate the way that you how transparent you are when you do give your game, man.
But let me ask you this. Do you think it's maturity, or do you think it's realizing that you have to take ownership of like where you're at in life?
I think it's a mix of both. Um and it but it's circumstantial too. It depends on the person. I think it's maturity is a big thing. I see that at all ages too, because I got barbers from age 22 all the way up to 40 something, and some of the younger ones are more mature than some of the older ones.
Yep.
So there's I think maturity is definitely one. And usually barbers we come from rougher or challenged backgrounds for some reason.
Yep.
You know, a lot of us have been in prison, used to be in the streets, whatever the case. So or we hadn't been introduced to business, so there's a level of ignorance too. Just lack of experience. You just haven't had this kind of information exposed to you. So
And I think
I
a
think it's
lot.
a mix.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that last part that you touched on is the information, right? Like I know for me, like when my life, and this is why I love writing books, is because when my life changed the most was when I started reading. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like they say, like readers are leaders, right? Like
mm,
the more I started to read, the more I started seeing life through a different lens. And I
mm.
was like, wait, so looking at it this way has not got me where I need to be. But taking what this guy's lived a life of 20 years and I'm reading this in like 3 hours and I'm learning all this information and implementing it right away, it started getting addicting because I was seeing my life just it getting incrementally better. And unfortunately, as things changed, so did the circle of people that I spent my time around. You know what I mean?
Dude, everything
And
you
it,
said is game, man.
Game,
So
yeah,
much
yes.
man.
game. Hey Donnie, man, we had so much fun with you, man. And the real deal is, it's like I said in the beginning, man. Like hopefully you like us the way we like you, and when you want to do this more, man, we would love to get back with you at the event where we could dive in. I'm the one where I want to know. All right, Donnie, let's go back to what street you grew up on. All right,
Yeah,
Donnie. Hey, my team got to control me, man, because I'm a big story person. I like people's
yeah,
story because
yeah.
of what you just said. I listen, I find similarities, and I apply things and I implement them. So definitely looking forward to knowing more about you. But before we jump off, man, please plug what people need to know about these books and where to get them, and what you got coming up next, man.
100%, man. I'm gonna give your audience two things, okay? Number one, if you just go to Amazon and type in my name, Donnie.Joseph, that's just Donnie. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my Instagram. If you just go into Amazon and just type Donnie Joseph, all of my books will come up. There's something else really cool, and you guys may have noticed it in my book. And I designed a test. It's called the Barber test. Okay. Um, it's inside of my new books. But if you just go to the
The barber
barbertest.com,
test.
yep, the barbertest.com, what it is, let me put the barbertest.com. What it is it's a success assessment. And so as I went through my journey of becoming more evolved, better as a barber. What I did is I looked back and I asked myself some questions on areas that I needed to improve on
Okay.
and the areas that I wanted to focus on. And so what I did is I wrote down all of those questions and I designed a test so a barber can go to that test. It takes like 3 minutes. They score themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. How good are you behind the chair? On a scale of 1 to 10, how diverse is your clientele? All the way up to business, mindset, all of those things. And at the end of the test, they can get a score. I think you can get a total of 180 points, but it's a good gauge to see where you're at, and you'll know the
Awesome.
areas that you're doing well and the areas that you need improvement.
I'm
These
sorry,
are good
T.
things to know, Donnie,
This is
because
big.
when we go
This is
and
big.
talk to students, this should be something that we can share with them. I
Yeah,
mean, I know it's your thing, but this is about
dude.
relationships. We don't want them to miss this opportunity to gauge where they may be at to where they can be at. So we definitely is going to share this
I
information.
would do if this was me, and this is what I plan on doing in my next speaking engagement. Is I'm gonna do this in the middle of a speaking engagement. I would pull that up, so everybody pull out your phone, go to the barbertest.com, have them take the test, get their score, and then spend 2 minutes chatting with the person next to them about what their score is, and then maybe give some insight on it. And so it's a super easy way to keep the crowd engaged. And look, this stuff isn't original to Donnie. This is I spend a lot of money to be in mastermind groups with guys that are extremely successful, and I'm just doing what they do. I'm just
Uh,
bringing it
let
to our industry.
let
So
me
for
let me.
you to share it, please.
We'll be doing education in Southern Cali this weekend at the Simply Divine Academy. I see my partner's face, and I
Hmm.
know he agreed. We're gonna try this out this weekend.
Mm.
And you said something big about masterminding, and this why it's just why we have to stick to a format, because
Yeah, we
you
can go.
you you
Yeah, we can
you
go
say
down
so
all the
many.
rabbit
You say
holes.
right. You say so many things that I'm like, I know what you're talking about. There's something called the disc test out there, and they use that in other industries. And I love seeing people like you bringing things like this to the barbering industry. That's all we're doing, man. We're bringing these things from other fields into our industry so we can better it, man. So we'll be doing this, and we also put in the comments, y'all. Y'all go run this test for yourself tonight. Thebarbertest.com. I'm looking at it, and it's super simple. I like that too. I
Yeah.
like that.
It's very easy to complete. Like I said, it takes about 3 minutes. And if you do take the test, screenshot your score, tag me on Instagram. I'll share it to my stories. And if there's anything that I can do to help, I'm here to be of assistance. So,
Let's go,
um,
man.
yeah,
Hey, man, much love and success to you, man. Thank you for giving us your time, man. I got 50 other questions that I'm gonna
Oh,
ask you when I see you again. One of
yes.
yes.
them is based on family, because you are a big family man, and I want to thank your family for lending you to us tonight, because I know that was a big step. So thank you for your time, my
Oh
guy.
man, I appreciate you for that one, man. I appreciate.
Yeah,
I can't wait to get home. They're all in bed, man, but I get home, make sure they're all tucked in safe, and
Yes,
you
sir.
know.
that's
So,
love, man. Much
Well,
anyways,
success
all
to you,
right.
Donnie.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Bless you. Thank you.
Peace.
Yep.
Oh
We are
man.
going to cultivate that relationship Cause Donnie is like-minded like us, man.
Donnie's the man. Donnie got, man, you know how hard it was for me, T. You
I
know
know,
me.
I know.
Hey,
I'm
it
over
was
here like there
hard.
long ago, there long.
Hey, Donnie don't even know, boy. I was getting ready to dive in. I got a whole list of questions. I'm like, shit, I didn't get to ask him that.
There long
So,
ago.
man, but you know what? It's just what I'm learning in time, moderation, just like we're learning with diets and, rest and food and everything, man, just moderation. So we will have more Donnie to come.
Yes, yes, indeed. Shout out to everybody that hung in there with us, man. I'm so sorry that we wasn't able to get to a lot of or any of you guys' questions that are your statements and things. I'm sorry, guys. We're trying this new format, and it's a lot of things going on our side that it's just
A
we
lot.
gotta adapt to it. But we do appreciate you guys staying in the clubhouse and hanging in there with us. So,
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all so much. And it'll only get better as we go, y'all. Hey, don't play. Mark your calendar. If you're in Southern California, get down there this Sunday and mess with us at Simply Divine Academy Beauty and Barber Expo. And don't play.
Monrovia.
Hey, he got it, y'all. That boy got it. The
Monrovia. Hey, hey,
double
I was not confident about that either because I don't know if it was Monrovia or Monrovia. I just went with it and it came
Hey, you
out
can
cool.
tell when somebody kind of got it, they're scared to say it. Hey, you got it, my dude. Double
Monrovia.
Tree
I got the
Hotel.
Rovia.
Hey, I'm looking
Nice.
forward to this. We're gonna have so much fun, y'all. We're getting a lot of content, building a lot of relationships. Barber View TV will be in the building,
Indeed.
and we're gonna be out there getting content, interviews, having fun, trivia, all that good stuff. But don't play, because right after that, hey,
June 23rd, top of
June 20,
class.
June 23rd, man, is
Top of
going down.
class.
Next week we're going to talk about the Simply Divine event, and then we're going to bring in a guest from that event. So that is an unannounced guest. The week after that, man, we got the SMP gangster. I shouldn't say with a G because we got the SMPG, but we got the SMP award-winning SMP artist himself, Taylor Perry, will be in here. That's the following week. I think that is the 18th.
18th.
So
Yes,
y'all
sir.
make sure to stay tapped in. We working our ass off for y'all. So y'all stay tapped in as we mold this, man. And much love, man. Happy Tuesday to y'all.
Happy Tuesday, y'all. Stay blessed. Peace.
Take
We
us
out.
out, Barberville.
You are tuned in to the greatest young H-O-P. Let's go get him again, Joe. Oh my God. Come on.